2, 1. Okay. Hello, everyone. You see the stats, Louis?
Yeah, yeah. I,
Yeah.
I can
Okay.
I can see it.
Good. Okay. So, hello, everyone. Welcome again. Hopefully, this time it will be better with the network solved. This network solved. So, first of all, I would like to thank Louis again to be here for the second time and make time for us. Just to recap a bit, what we talked about last time was defense and the difference of the outside and the inside shoulder defense and the advantages of the disadvantages. There we stopped. We still had a little portion about the mixed defense. We're going to continue with that, and then we are going to start with all your questions. So I have a lot of questions from you guys. We're going to go through that. So, Luis, first of all, thank you for coming. I hope you're fine and everything in Portugal is fine. So, yeah, we can start. So, first, we can see the stats from all 3 years. Can you explain a bit more about that?
Hi, Christoph. Hi, everyone again. Let's hope it will all go well this time. Even in Portugal, we're taking things well with a bit stress, but things are going quite easy with all this pandemic crisis. But I'm sure that we all will take it and we'll do it well. So continuing this board that we have, I've got the comparison from the 3 years with the under 20s when both all the 3 years we won the European Championship. Then in Uruguay 2017 we lost the final of the trophy to Japan. In Bucharest we ended up in third. We lost the game against the semi-final against Fiji. Then we beat Namibia in the third and fourth place. And then in Brazil 2019 last summer we lost again with Japan in the final. And each year there was each year you've got a new generation. You play against other new generations, so you've got different players, and we try to adapt our style, even in offensive style, but also especially in defense. We try to adapt it to the sort of players we had, and we try to do it the way that we could defend it the best way, so that we could attack. So in 2017 we were very traditional. It was the first year, so we did it very traditional, and we did it. We worked a lot with the outside shoulder, so we did the drift defense tradition, and using the outside line as a support in defense. Sorry, my kids are here. Vicente, faça barulho aqui, querido. Saiam lá, não, saiam lá daqui. And and so and we used the most traditional type of defense to in the game, both in Bucharest and both in Uruguay. Saiam, and Uruguay. Then in Coimbra in 2018, we started using the inside shoulder defense, and we did it in a very aggressive way, and we did it like kamikaze style. Uh, so we tried to adapt it the best way we could, and we did it sometimes a lot of kamikaze style inside shoulder defense. In 2019, after having more experience and knowing a bit better the way that we wanted to attack, so we decided we did like we already talked, Christoph, like a bit of a mixed defense when we used a lot of times, and even in the same defensive system, we used some players going inside shoulder, others using outside shoulder, and so it's very different styles of defense. With we can see that we have a little bit different stats for each year, but we managed to get the same outcome because we managed to get good results and good wins. And or in every year, one of the best thing in our game was the defense. So and this will really prove, at least for me and for some people that I've talked, that it's not really the system that works, it's the way that your players believe. But you can build a system, and if the players believe, things will happen, and you must adapt a bit the style and the system to the sort of players you have. So you can see that mainly the 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 the, the generation that wasn't so successful in terms of numbers was 2018, with the lower percentage of tackles, and also with with a big number of missed tackles. But like I told you, it was the way that we defended. It was really kamikaze style. We did it we're going at full speed. Everyone was coming at full speed, and so if we could see other stats regarding especially the first phase tackling, we had low numbers in first phase tackling, because sometimes when you go very at full speed, you can miss some tackles because the attack can you can they can work better if you come at speed. You don't have much time to react to what the attack does. And so in 2018, we adapted a bit. We kept on rushing, doing the rush defense, because when we do put pressure and we manage to get an offensive tackle, like we attack in the defense, when you can do an offensive tackle, a dominant tackle, so that you can gain the advantage line, that suits us, because then we can get a lot of turnovers. And from those turnovers, we can play it fast ball, and that's the way we like to play. And so in 2019, we managed to adapt a bit all the situations, and so we were much more successful, as you can see. And even in terms of possession, the 2017 generation, we had a lot of possession. We kept the ball a lot, and then we kept possession in our defense, as you can see by numbers. We have the lowest numbers of the three generations in 2017, because we kept a lot of possession. If you look at 2019, when we gave a lot of possession, we gave the ball to the attack, we gave the initiative of the attack, we give the initiative of the game to the opponent, and then we would go after them, we would tackle, and we get the ball back. And so that would give us like this huge number, like we almost had 300, so 300 tackles in the European Championship. That means around 100 tackles per game. And if you go to see the trophy in 2019, we have almost 450 tackles. This means more than 110 tackles per game. So that really tells the way that we played and the way that we like to suffer. And that showed the way that we trained a lot, giving our defense, being comfortable in the defense, being comfortable tackling, being comfortable giving the ball to the opponent, so that we could get. Vai-te embora, Jamie. E fecha a porta, fecha a porta. Sorry, guys. This is the little one.
No
Fecha a
problem.
porta, já.
We all know how difficult it is at the
One-
moment for kids and parents.
One of the problems of quarantine. And so I was telling, and so we worked a lot the patience in defense, so that the players could be comfortable defending and be comfortable waiting for the right moment to get the turnover or to get the ball back, so that we could attack. So that's why I think, and here in Brazil or in Uruguay, we get the possession of ball. We always got around 55% of possession during the game, and even in the game against Fiji, we got 65%. In Brazil, we never got almost close to the 50% of possession. So I think that's one of the reasons why we get so big numbers in tackling, and then but then it shows that also the players wanted to play that system. They got fun playing that system, and that's one reason for you to have success. If the players have fun, if they enjoy what they're doing, and they really enjoy the defensive way.
Okay, maybe it's good to see the system of 2019, and you can explain a bit when we go through it what it meant and what the difference was with 2017 and 2018.
Yeah.
Good.
So if Christoph, we can
Yes.
go and see the game. Then if
Yes.
I ask you to stop, we can talk a bit during each clip. Okay?
You see it?
Not yet. Now I see it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Here we go. You say stop, and then we can.
Can you stop? In there, could you see that's one of the problems of this defense? Because if we put a lot of pressure and we're going from the inside shoulder out in the back, and if our inside defenders don't go up as well and they don't cover the space, we'll always give space to the attack in the link between the two systems. Because here we try to do a kind of a drift defense from the inside and a rush inside shoulder defense from the outside. See here, there's a tackle, but then after this ruck, there's no link between the players. The players that should be in the inside defense, they don't come up, and the players that are in the outside defense, they go up. And so it creates the gap that the Hong Kong player took very well. See, this is one of the problems of this sort of defense is if the players are not quite linked in the system. Here, could you see?
To go back or?
Yeah. No, it's cool. Just we go to the end of the clip and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
Can we? In that clip, you could clearly see that when the Hong Kong, what's the other one?
Yeah. So it's this one. Yep.
Yeah. So here it's just I try to get the line break. They go they try to go for the outside pass, and you could see that the outside defense just cut his options and just hit him well, and so that's quite happy. I'm quite happy with that because as soon as the player got the ball in the outside, because it was the number 8 that got the ball, so wasn't probably the most skillful player in their team. He just did the pass, and it's a slow pass, and we could do the outside defense could come and do the inside shoulder defense. So he cut the time for him to took his option, and he took all his time to act. So it's happy for us. So they didn't pass the gain line, the advantage line. It was an opportunity for us. This will be also another good situation. And see where we can get them. Can you stop now, please?
Yep.
So, Christo, if we go to in the beginning of that clip, nowadays with in the third one, the next one,
this one.
Here, can we just stop? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nowadays, everyone can see because that when we're in broken play and we're just playing phase game, the attack don't have many space and they don't have that time to decide because the defense will always put pressure. But when we go from set piece, especially from lineouts, if we can see now in international rugby, most of the tries from set piece come from lineout because there's so much space. You have 20 meters for the attack to decide, and so there's a big competition between who takes the space before. So if it's the defense that goes at speed and takes the time and space to the attack, or if it's the attack that attacks the defense and tries to use the space that the defense has. Here you can see that Hong Kong goes quite straight and they go in a very straight line to attack us. We just cut them the space. So in the first phase, when we do the first tackle, they don't go over the advantage line. We manage to get them always in the advantage line. And if you see the way that, now you can stop, please. You can see the way that they worked. Look at the Portuguese player in green and is being held up by a Hong Kong player. So this is, well, like what we call smart rugby, not very polite. So this is smart rugby that a lot of teams and countries use. So they try to clear the area around the ruck so that they can create an opportunity for them to do a pick and go or something. But when they decide to go to the blind side again, look at the speed that the Portuguese players have and take the space to the attack of Hong Kong. See, we're already defending. We gained almost like 10 meters just in this phase because they played so deep, and that's what we like when the opponent plays deep. That's when we like to put pressure, and then we got here the turnover and we managed to play this ball. So this was well played.
You have to say stop, eh?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, can you stop, please? Here, could you see around the breakdown in the previous one? That's what happens when we don't. Now, after this, after the first ruck against Canada. Here it's a good situation because the way that the Portuguese players rushed and the way that they cut the line to the Canadian team, they didn't know who to pass because they were all blocked by our players. So they did a long pass that go over everyone. So we tried to take a good option because it was to get the ball into space, but there was no one in that space to attack. So that's one of the problems, is leave that space. But then when we got our organization around this breakdown, we could see that there was a big gap, and we took the wrong guy. So this is a very important area in the game. When the opponent gets a quick ruck, we must read it very fast, who takes who. So here we always use like that. You can see easily because the number 7 that has got the orange helmet is supposed to be the post. So this guy would never take anyone. He would always cover inside. But then all the other guys right next to him should start naming who they got in the attack. So the next guy right next to the orange helmet would take the first one, and so on. Just the outside defense, like I told you the other day, especially the last one and the one before the last. They're the wild cards. They're the ones who can take chances. They can have all the risk, and they can go kamikaze and take their options. That's why we'd always choose some smart players to take those positions, because they needed to read what's happening really fast and take the right option. But here we could see that the inside defense that should do the drift defense easily, they didn't number who their guy was. They didn't number it well, and so the Canadian player just easily, he just got past to us.
Okay.
So it was easy because one guy didn't know who was his player, who should he tackle, and so he got with 2 guys in front. Here it's just the same thing. Can you stop, please?
Go back.
Christoph. In there, it's just the same thing. See, after this one, we didn't count well who was our player, who was the guy that I was supposed to defend, and now you could see that the heads of the Portuguese players, they're all looking at the scrum off, or they're all looking at the ball, and only the number 4 is the one that starts looking in front. And now the Canadian player, he just runs straight because he goes between number 1 and number 2 that didn't count well, and this guy was supposed to be defended by the orange helmet that stayed inside of him, and so he just ran straight. So bad defense because they didn't count, they didn't see who was their player or who was the player that they should defend. But then, as you can see, going fast in the outside, putting a lot of pressure in the middle of the field, it will help and will make the opponent team take bad options. Here you can see we're already taking the space very fast. This is a good clip. Can you put it again, Christoph, please? You can see that the Canadian players, they use a very physical game, different from our style. But the way that we put pressure, we go very fast, we go very quickly, and we go. You can see that it's quite evident that we go outside, inside. And when the Canadian player starts to try to play it outside, as soon as the player gets the ball, he also gets with the man.
Just to get the first question in from here, because this is an interesting video. So around the ruck area, so if you defend there, we're talking about who takes the first man and stuff. In this mixed defense, who does that? How does it work around the ruck?
Man, so in this season we already changed that again. So, in the start, we just use it easily and straight, fixed positions. So we always had post and counter post. So we always had very, very defined positions, and they didn't move. Here, we decided that we always stick to the post sticks to the inside space, and they would always take the option of the inside pass, or we would take the scrum off or something like that. So it would be the inside cover defense, and then the second guy, our supposed to be the counter post, he would be the one who starts reading and starts either helping the post if there was something happening quite close to the ruck, or he would manage to go into the drift if there was something going in the outside. So that was one way that we started to defend. But even in 2018, previous year to this, we also have one guy behind the ruck, especially when we played against very physical teams. So we had one guy defending behind the ruck to go and to use him if the other team would play very short game, very channel one, just hit a lot, pass, hit, would use this guy behind the ruck to be the support and to help our defenders to try to push the guy backwards.
Okay.
But that would kill us one guy in the outside defense. So we decided to leave that guy in the line of defense, and we left that out. And so we adapted again, and so we've decided not to use a fixed post. Now we're trying to use. We have a lot of mobility around the ruck, so we no longer have like we were talking ABC. Well, we have ABC, but the guy that starts the A or the B cannot be the one that probably is not the one that will land when the ball comes out from the ruck, because we always want to have the inside defenders to come and fold very quickly, and we would push very quickly outside. See?
Okay.
So there we started being very static and very straight, and who stays who, where, and doesn't move. And nowadays we've changed it completely. So we started very static, and now we are mobile and flexible. The guy that starts in that position might be the one that won't defend in that position, because if there's someone coming inside, he will just push the guy outside so that we can have numbers, because this will make a huge difference when we'll be defending, especially in our back, when we'll be defending the kicks or the small chip behind the back of the defense. That will help us a lot when it goes to that area, because you can have, like nowadays you see, you have different strategies with the numbers that you have at the back. Like Ireland, when they have Rock Kearney, they only used one guy in the back, and Kearney would do all the ground. They would take all the ground, and they'll have a second line in defense. But like you can see, sometimes the All Blacks, they have three guys at the back because they push the opponent to kick, and so they are ready to counterattack. So you need to have like a bit of a balance between the way that you defend and the way that you want to counterattack. Yeah. So that's one thing to think about.
So if we see this clip, from where and who takes the decision to actually go and rush up? Who takes that decision in this?
Here you can see that we've got the lock, the guy with the strapping in the knee, with the white strapping in the knee. So wait. Oh, now you're talking about the outside or the inside?
The outside. Outside.
Okay, that's very easy. You can see number 14. He comes clearly out of his line. So we had 13 and 14.
Yeah.
You can put a little bit before. Yeah, just take it from. Tackle, we tried to delay the ruck, but Canada did it very well. And now you can see we have 14. We had 14 and 11 in the same line, because we changed a lot who stays at the back sometimes, and they talk a lot. 11, 14, 10, and 15. Those are the guys that we leave at the back. And so probably if we have here 14 and 11, covering the kick will be 10 and 15, because we always take the two. If these two are here, the other two, if we had a wider angle to see this footage, we'd have 10 and 15 outside. So we could see that 14 was working as a 13, and we have 11 working as the wing. So you could see 13 with the 14 at his back. He took the kamikaze decision to rush and to take the ball, the player and the ball. And you can see that the Canadian player tried to offload, and you can see that 11 who's at the wing. You will take very quickly the option, because he's already in front of all our defensive line, and you will hit the Canadian player as soon as he gets the ball. Could you understand it?
Yes, that was good, and maybe important. So let's say the number 14, normally number 13 there, would take the decision to do the kamikaze, do the rush. How do the other players react on it?
11 must go with him. The 11 must go with him. Otherwise, it will be an isolated action, and will have big consequences. And if you could see, this player right next to the 11 is number 12. And as soon as he saw that the 14, that should be 13, took the kamikaze option, he was already he tried to rush very quickly to give support to the inside defense. Because if he didn't get the Canadian player, we're quite sure that the option of the Canadian player was to hit inside. And if you hit inside, you could have this kind of yellow boots, the number 12, this blonde kid, would be inside. If you want to put a little bit to the
Okay.
back, we can probably see that.
Good. Okay, that's good. Thank you for that. We go to the next phase. See.
Yeah. See here, you can see that all the inside, just the clip before, just the end to see the organization that we had just a bit before even. Like, just to be sure that you're watching the same thing. Now it will start. Now, yeah. Can you stop?
Yeah.
Now you can see at the breakdown that they are they are they are. We have all the players standing. As you can see, we have 15 players up, and I can't count how many Canadians are at the breakdown, but at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the scrum half. So they have 6 guys involved there. This is a great photo to show in defense. And we have 15 players up. Some of them are getting in the right position. I think that on our left, we should have a player a bit wider so that he could be the leader of the outside defense, so that he could read what was happening, but we're still getting in position. And we will having, 10 is not here and 15 is in the line. So we have just, now we have one player, 10 is at fullback. We cannot see him, but I can see that he's not here. And the other guy that should be going backwards is the player that's behind the line here at the right side of he was the one that should be going backwards to cover the kick. And you can see that we're quite, so then that's when we adapt. We try to get much more closer around the ruck, especially playing against a team like Canada, not giving so much space inside. But then we would go up very quickly and very even. If you understand what I mean.
Yep.
They go all in the same line, not giving spaces. Especially what happens, what I see a lot in training, is that when we want to put pressure in the middle of the ground or in the middle of the pitch, then the guys in the middle go up very quickly, and the guys of the inside they go a bit slowly. And in this sort of defense, if that happens, we're going to give the advantage to the attack. But if we manage to get the outside guys going fast, and we get the inside guys, they cannot go as fast as the outside. But if they can go as fast as they can, they'll be happy, because there will be a huge possibility of the attack to go and to their arms.
Okay.
So that's a bit
Good.
what will happen.
So I have a second question that was already also on my list, so that's good, but we can ask it here. So who actually defends the second line of defense? So let's say they do a chip kick or they do in this type of defense. So who do you want to?
In this type, it's number 9. You can see we've got our number 9 is behind the ruck, and when the ball goes out, you can see that he takes like a little curve, and he stays a bit behind the defensive wall, and he takes the little chip.
Okay.
Because that's like I told you, number 10 will show at the left side of the pitch, and we'll have number 14. That's the guy that's here running backwards. He'll take this side. So that's probably what will happen. Now we've changed that already. Now we've changed that already. Sometimes it's number 9, but a lot of times it's not. So, but at that system, it was number 9. This is another one. I just see it.
We'll just go through it.
Yeah. You see the way that you can get the turnover.
Yeah.
Because you manage to isolate the player and then you can have the ball. Here, can you go backwards a bit? You see the. Can you
Here.
go in the beginning of this clip, please?
Wait, I have to see for
Yeah.
next phase.
Yeah, against Tonga.
Yeah, it will go a bit next after
Just in the
this one.
beginning, because
Here.
we can see the organization around the breakdown. Just a bit forward. Just a bit more. Okay, it's enough. Now you can see, well, but this is like we're beating Tonga by 40 points. It was already a wide margin, but it's really no excuse for mistakes. And the players were really they like look what I was criticizing just a while ago in the game against Canada, or saying that we were doing very well because we had almost no guys around the ruck. We're all standing. Here we can see that we have 5 guys here around this ruck that are doing absolutely nothing. All those are just stopped and they're watching what's happening. So they're not defending anyone. They're not getting useful to the team. And when our defense, and they all tried, they all tried to come outside, inside. As you can see, they're running lines. But we're doing that in such a small space and with so few numbers that we leave a huge space in the outside, as will see.
Here, yeah, go on or.
Yeah, here I stayed before. Yeah. Can you see? You have a huge space outside.
Okay.
But then, yeah, you just see what.
So we need to go back here. Okay, we'll see it again.
No. You want to see? Okay.
So a huge space. So what you're saying there is we had too many numbers at the ruck, and we wanted to do the outside defense on a small area
numbers.
without numbers. Okay, good.
Yes, because we had 5 guys right next to the ruck, and so this is the way that they learn. So the players learn. So you really need. You cannot stick to one sort of defense no matter what happens in front of you. In that situation, we couldn't do type of defense because we had less numbers and we had a lot of space given to the opponent. So we really need to drift, but they tried to go outside, inside, and we gave space.
Okay, good. We'll go on. You're like 3 seconds behind on me, so.
Yeah. Yeah, can you see the way that? Well, I can talk in the end.
Yeah. Okay. We go to the end then.
Okay. See, well, this is a good situation. We defended very badly in the beginning.
Wait, because wait.
Can
Wait something. To check something. Are you guys still online here? Because I just got a message. Yeah. Are we back online? Yep. Okay.
we lost connection?
Yeah, not on Facebook, but on YouTube apparently. So I have to check. Good.